everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael and today's video is about building a pen holder for my Tormach 770M with a TTS or Tormach tool system. If you follow my YouTube channel, you might have noticed that I build also games and toys for kids in our family and for friends. And sometimes there is a need to draw something on an object. I'll give you an example. This is a little labyrinth game I built recently, and the top of this game here, this one, or there are replacements, different versions of labyrinth, for example this one, requires to draw the path of a steel ball on the surface. So the surface is flat, but it has elevated sections, so cannot put that in a printer. So what I did in the past, I used some masking tape and put that on here on the toolpath, which by itself is a very tedious process. And then I put it on my laser, cut out the masking tape, peeled off part of the masking tape, and then painted it. And I did that for 3 different colors. It's rather tedious and takes forever, and I thought it would come in handy to have some kind of pen just to draw this. And that's just one example why a drawing tool for my CNC mill, where I have the 3D model already, would come in very handy. So the goal was to create a pen holder which fits the existing TTS system on my machine, which then allows me to quickly change pens of different color. Also gives me the option to use different kinds of pens with different diameters, different lengths. Gives me enough clearance in Z even when using a very long pen. And also I wanted to create something where the pen itself is spring-loaded to compensate small variations in the material thickness and so on. So this is my Tormach 770M with the maximum Z position. If you have a pen holder which, for example, requires an ER20 collet, and then you add a pen, you have very limited space here. Now add a vise and then you won't have the space to fit a pen at that length, for example. So you can get away with a very short pen, but not with something like that. Okay, this is what I came up with. The first part is the pen holder housing. The geometry is identical to a TTS tool holder. I made this part out of a 2-inch diameter 6061 aluminum rod. I could also made it out of this TTS machinable blank. It's sold by Tormach for I think about $36 or something, and it's steel. For me it's much easier to machine aluminum, of course, and since there are pretty much no cutting forces whatsoever, I thought aluminum provides enough strength. As I said, identical geometry to a standard TTS tool holder. The only difference is I bored a through hole here, a 1/2-inch diameter, to give space for longer pens. So I utilize the length of this tool holder already to utilize longer pens. For example, if I want to use a really long pen, I can slide in here, and that saves me quite a lot of travel in Z direction. This lower part here is an inside diameter of about 3/4 of an inch and has a little slot. The next parts are adapter sleeves made out of Delrin, and they're used to accommodate different pens, pens of different diameter and shapes. For example, they're blue, color-coded. The blue one is made for standard Sharpies that slips on here and is a tight fit, and the pen cannot fall out, but later on it's also held in place with a little screw here. I'll show that later. So a different pen, for example, a mini Sharpie then, which has a little bit of different shape here, uses sleeve red, and that slips also on here then. And the way it works is that when the pen is inserted here, that slips into the housing, and then I use a little screw, goes in here, which serves two purposes. First, it gives additional holding force to the pen that it cannot fall out, and also it limits the downward travel of the pen. So here it cannot fall out. And to remove it, just remove the screw, and then it slips out. So if you want to change pens, it's rather easy. For example, if you want to draw on a part with different colors, you just change the green pen to a blue pen or whatever. And to adjust the downward force on the tip of the pen, you can use, of course, a spring which slips over here and presses on the sleeve. And if that goes into the housing here, then you have this spring-loaded force. Or I have several brass sleeves and they add weight. So I just manufactured two here, lighter one, heavier one. Inside diameter is 1/2 inch, outside is 3/4 of an inch. And what you do is, before you insert the pen in the housing, you just add this additional weight, slips in here, and then you can adjust more or less the downward pressure here, not with a spring but with a sleeve. I kind of like this actually, and my experience is I got the best results with the smaller of the brass rings. You want to have limited downward pressure on the tip, but as I said, you can adjust it if needed. I currently have 5 sleeves to accommodate standard Sharpie, a mini Sharpie, the extra fine Sharpie. Then I have one of these nib makers. And then I have an acrylic pen with 2 different tips. And this is out of a set of 48 different pens with different colors. Here's a drawing of the 5 different sleeves. Like I said, the outside diameter, the length, and this hole for the set screw is the same for all sleeves. They're color-coded. For example, Sharpie Standard, Sharpie Mini, and so forth. And the only difference between each sleeve is the taper angle here. Each pen has a different taper angle. And the acrylic pen, this guy, is the only one without a taper. It is 90 degree and outside diameter of 11 millimeters. Okay, next I want to show you how it's actually working on the machine. For that we use just a standard Sharpie with its sleeve. Pull that in here, put the extra weight on it, move that in, screw the little screw in place, and then we go to the machine and I show you how it works on the machine. Okay, here's the pen holder in operation. Quick note regarding the Fusion model. Fusion, for whatever reason, does not allow you to create a tool path with 0 spindle speed. So what is necessary in this case, to create a model in the post processor, you just set the spindle speed to 0 manually. What I do actually, for the pen holder in the tool library, I always specify as a spindle speed 111 RPMs and the tool number 31. And when the G-code is done by Fusion, I just search for the spindle speed S111 code and then replace that with an M5 command. M5 stands for spindle stop. Eventually I will do that and reprogram the post processor to do that automatically for my tool 31 and the code word S111, but for now I do it manually and it works quite well. Okay, here's a quick demo. And here you have it. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to see you very soon.